Hey, it's MK and I am back with 31 Days of Cut File Fun, and today we are doing another another cut file by Christina Sorge, which is Redifined Kreative, and these cut files were made exclusively for this Cut File Fun month. Anyways, I had to get a little creative with my alphas because of the fact that I am running low on them. I also plan on doing a lot of mixed media with some watercolors, these Altenew sprays in a couple oranges and a gold, and then I have a black spray that I'm running low on. I need to get some more, you guys. Seriously, look, you can almost see the bottom of it. I'll also be using a little bit of glitter. I have a Nuvo fine glitter, and then glitter that I picked up from Stampin' Up! A long time ago. Also some Not Just for Boys sequins, so I'll be using those as well. I also picked out some die cuts and things, just odds and ends from my black bulky bin. And these little gems, you guys remember these gems? I remember the last video I tried to use them on and they didn't play nice with me, so we're going to try to do it again. I also have a scrap of orange cardstock, and these are my photos. Now, one of them is a little bit on the stringy side, like it's got lines running through it, but to be honest, I think that it was the way that I took the photo. So here is the cut file that I'm going to be working with, and I also picked out this orange Vicky Bouton watercolor paper to be my base paper. All right, so I've already cut down my photos and my photo mats. I also cut the branding strip off, or the extra strip, I guess, from the paper pad off of the paper that I'll be using. And then I'm going to prep my paper for some mixed media. Now, I don't do anything to this except for paint. I do not, in all honesty, put gesso on it. I did not, I didn't protect this from any kind of water anywhere. So basically what I'm doing is I am taking a couple pieces of my watercolor and all the different oranges and making sure that I get a couple little flames going on. Now, I didn't want the cartoony looking flames or anything like that. So basically all I'm doing is I'm tapping with my brush until I get it to where I want it to go. Because I'm using quite a broad brush, I'm actually kind of sort of twisting it a little bit just to get a little bit thinner pieces. I don't know. Every time I do this, I think of Bob Ross. I mean, does anybody? He has definitely changed the painting world, let me tell you. And to be honest, I've never actually seen any of Bob Ross's little shows. None of them. So anyways, I went ahead and I also painted in some of my sprays, the orange sprays. That way I got a little glossy flame going on because they do have a little bit of shimmer in them. I also am adding some glitter just down at the bottom of my flames. I just wanted them to have a little bit of sparkle and shine. I had it envisioned of how I was going to do it. Now I am using, it's called a acrylic gloss medium, which is basically just a glossy thing to add to your, a glossy substance to add to your acrylic paint. That's it. That's all it is. I do end up making a mess of the glitter, but hey, I've never been good at glitter. So now I'm going to create a couple flames of sequins going on because, who doesn't have sequins in their fire? So I went ahead and I put some Nuvo Deluxe adhesive down, glittered the entire jar of sequins all down the bottom, and then I smushed them all in with my finger and tapped it off to remove all the excess ones. Now I'm taking that exact same gloss medium, the acrylic gloss medium, and I'm going over all of the glitter and the sequins with this gloss medium. For one, so they kind of are adhered a little bit better than just me squishing them into some glue. And for two, to give it that shiny that I'm looking for. I want the flames to be shiny all over instead of just down at the bottom. Now, I guess I did not need to use any of my ink sprays because this does make it all shiny, but shiny and shimmery are two different things. And so I kind of see both of them. Now, I did accidentally get a drop of watercolor over on the left side of my paper. So I went with it and dabbed it some more with some Altenew ink as well as the glossy glimmer. So it kind of sort of just looks like it's supposed to be there. I also went and I coated my entire cut file with my jet black ink, but I only sprayed it slightly. So now it's kind of got that gray look rather than a stark black look. Okay. So I didn't want it to be black. I just wanted it to be, oh, it's my favorite, pastel black. Yes, that's a word. Yeah. Some people call it gray, but I think pastel black is way fancier. Anyways, I am going to mess around with these little blingy thingies. Honestly, if I would have known how difficult these would have been to manipulate and like they're sticky, which is a good thing. And we always complain about things not being sticky, but these are sticky to the point where they don't cooperate really well. Actually, in fast forward, it looks like they cooperate rather well. But I did struggle with them because they wanted to stick to my fingers more than they wanted to stick to the paper. And it could be because of all the media down at the bottom. I'm not really sure. But the point of this layout basically is this fire was just on the other side of my street, basically. This is looking from, one of them is looking from my backyard. And the other one is looking down at the end of the road. Basically, I live on a corner, and I walked to the other side of the street and took the photo as well. And so that's basically where this fire was. And so it came really close to where we had to be evicted, but we were not. And I was grateful for the response. So out where I live, we have a fire department in the main city, but we have a volunteer fire department out where I live. We also have what's called the BLM, and it's the Bureau of Land Management, and they also have their own fire department. Just because we live in a very dry, deserty area, and so they are constantly out just driving around, and that's their job all summer long, is waiting for fires. And so all of these people are, temporary workers because they have winter jobs because clearly we don't have fires in the winter. But we, just because of the fact that all of the response was so close, the fire never got any bigger than what it was. We never had to evacuate our home. It worked out really, really well. And, knock on wood, I'm glad that this is a story that everyone in our town can say, because we have that response to the fires. We have, a decent, at least around the houses, we do. When it's a little bit more remote and the roads aren't easily accessible, that's a little bit different. But for here, when it's close to our homes, we've never had to be evacuated. We've never had to, worry about the structure of our homes because of these people. So my title is currently grateful for the BLM, because if it wasn't for them patrolling around looking for fires that aren't supposed to be there, then this fire could have jumped the street and ended up to me and my neighbors. So I'm very grateful. I've never been this close to a fire before. I could normally see it, far off into the mountains, but I've never had one this close to the house before. And so it was quite scary, but in reality, we didn't panic because we knew we had all these wonderful people out there doing their jobs, and that is exactly what they do. So anyways, this is my tribute to them, and we also go to their barbecue every year and make a donation. I mean, it's awesome. And then they also have a Fire Awareness Day where they teach children and adults how to make a fire line. So even if, we are out and about in our yards and things like that, they always recommend that you upkeep your fire line around your property. And basically what it does is it helps slow the fire to where response can get in before, you know, the fire gets to your house. And so that is definitely something that we always attend, so the children and us and everybody can be aware of that. It's just this year, not 2021, but the year that these photos were taken were definitely an eye-opener, and where my kids actually got to see how useful the fire line and learning that type of stuff really was. Anyways, oh my gosh, talked through the whole thing, decorated it with all of these little gems and things like that, and that was it. Now the gems and things like that were representing the smoke that came from the fire, because there was definitely a lot of that, and in fact several days after, there was lots and lots of smoke. So anyways, be sure to check out how Christina is using this particular cut file today, and I will check y'all later. Bye.